Good morning and welcome to the OESBD Community Connections. My name is Tiana McCall and I am the Community Relations and Outreach Manager and Public Information Officer for the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. We are so excited that you are here with us this morning to join us for our Community Connections segment, where today we are featuring the Urban League of Broward County. We are excited about the information they're going to share and to connect you with one of our community resources and help you understand, as businesses, as small business owners here in Broward County, of some of the services and programs that they have to offer. So we want to go ahead and get started and make sure you have the opportunity to get all the information that you need from them. Just a few housekeeping things I want to share with you. For today's workshop, we are going to make sure that you have information provided to you in the chat regarding updates, some of the key information that the speakers share. For your convenience, we have the Q&A box enabled, the question and answer box at the bottom, usually at the bottom of your screen, where you are able to enter questions and we will address them at the end of the presentation. Additionally, the speakers may engage you, and if so, if you can raise your hand to show your support and participation, please feel free. Next slide. On behalf of our director, Mr. Sandy Michael McDonald, he was here scheduled to be here to bring greetings. He has gotten tied up, so on his behalf, I'd like to make sure that I welcome you and share his contact information should you have any questions or concerns or anything regarding information that's being shared. I'm sure he will probably jump on throughout the presentation at some point to make sure that he's able to bring you greetings. But here's his information, and we just want to make sure that we acknowledge our director and you have his information. Next slide. So just a little bit about our office. The Office of Economic and Small Business Development, we are a service agency, and we work with our partners to accomplish the county's goals. And the Urban League of Broward County is one such partner. We are small business folks here to provide services and resources and information to each of you regarding how to continue to catapult your business forward, how to make those connections, and how to continue to build your respective brands. Next slide. We want to make sure, for those of you who may not be currently certified with the county, that we have information available to you on how to get certified. If you have a good or service that the county procures, we have a local certification program that would benefit you in terms of doing business with the county. So here we have information on our online local certification application, brand new. We're a little behind the times, but we have come into the 21st century. We've made this convenient for your benefit. This is a secure, safe, 24/7 access opportunity for you to get certified. And of course, we are here to provide support and assistance, but should you be doing this at a time of day or evening that's convenient for you, where the office may not be open, you are welcome to watch the webinar on our YouTube page that will walk you through step by step every aspect of the application, that you can complete it sufficiently and correctly so that you can be considered for certification. Next slide. Lastly, I want to make sure that I share with you that Broward County has a construction apprenticeship program that started on April 5th. We are excited about this program. And so I want to make sure that those of you that are doing different projects with the county are aware of this apprenticeship program, and that details and information on this new program is available on our website, broward.org/econdev. Next slide. So at this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to you Courtney Biscardi. She is the Executive Vice President of the Urban League of Broward County, and she's going to take it from here. Ms. Biscardi? While she's unmuting, I just want to make sure I also share with you all that this presentation is being recorded, and it will be made available to each of you at the end of, it'll be posted rather, I guess I should say. It won't necessarily be made available, but we will send out a thank you to each of you for attending. The link is normally included in our thank you, and you can also access this on our YouTube page, usually in about 48 hours after the conclusion of the event. So it is being recorded for those of you who will want to reference it later. Okay, Ms. Biscardi, are you ready?
I am. Thank you so much, Ms.
All right,
McCall.
very good.
Yes, I'm so sorry about that. I could not unmute, but I am fully present and really excited about this presentation today. Again, my name is Courtney Biscardi, and I serve as the Executive Vice President for the Urban League of Broward County, as well as our subsidiary, the Central County Community Development Corporation. And I will share that this is an exciting time to be doing a presentation with the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, not just because we've had a long-standing partnership of working together. And even as I looked at the slides just prior to mine with the construction-related program and the access to procurement opportunities, we have been building this relationship over time to work with the county on both of those efforts. So it's really a proud moment. But I also wanted to share that this is exciting because we have so much new exciting activities that are happening within our organization, specifically related to entrepreneurship. So it gives me really great pleasure to talk to you about it today. I will share that I've been at the Urban League for 14 years, unbelievably, and have served in many different roles at the Urban League. But this venture is probably the most innovative component of the work that I've had the privilege of leading. And so for me to be able to share with my colleagues some of those ventures is going to be hopefully exciting for you as well. Next slide. Next slide. So a little bit about the Urban League and the Entrepreneurship Center. Many of you have heard of the Urban League, I'm sure. We sit right in the middle of the Broward Municipal Services District on the corner of 27th and 6th. We have been in Broward County for 45 years, unbelievably. And through that time, we have been a response to what we believe are the high needs of community, particularly for African Americans and other underserved community members. We do this in 6 different areas: entrepreneurship, education, jobs, justice, housing, and health. We call it EEJJHH if you ever wanted to think of a quick way to remember it. And for us, it allows us to really create economic self-reliance, parity, power, and civil rights, which is a key part of our mission statement. You might not know, however, that we have this subsidiary organization called the Central County Community Development Corporation. It actually started in 1993, but most of the work it began doing was with respect to community development, housing development. And honestly, we've partnered with the county in many ways through that vehicle as well, developing homes on vacant land and reselling them affordably to individuals in our community, individuals and families. But in 2015, we made a brave decision. We decided that we wanted to deepen our relationship with small businesses because we saw the increased needs for businesses, particularly those who are minority and women owned. And for us, we thought if we're going to offer services, not only do we want to give an avenue or a vehicle for those to get technical and business development services, but we also want to be able to have access to capital. And so we birthed the Entrepreneurship Center and the Small Business Loan Fund in 2015 to be able to do just that. And we'll talk to you a little bit more about that later today. I'll also share that in 2020, July, we became a community development financial institution, which essentially means it allows us to do lending. While we did lending before that, this designation, as bestowed upon us by the Department of Treasury, really allows us to generate additional investments for our organization and make these investments within lower income or disenfranchised communities. So it's a really key element of our work. It's almost like that stamp of approval saying that you could trust this agency to be able to get the services and capital that you need for your business. Next slide. So a little bit more about the Entrepreneurship Center. We exist to cultivate opportunities to create, sustain, and grow businesses in the state of Florida, particularly in historically disenfranchised communities. Now, you know we're located in Broward, and you're thinking, wow, the whole state of Florida, how do you do that? Well, the good news is that we are the lead affiliate of 7 in the state, and there are several other affiliates who operate entrepreneurship centers. We vie for funding on the state level to support these efforts through the Department of Economic Opportunity and other vehicles. And because we do that, we believe that our access to these types of services is available throughout the state with our partner or our affiliate organizations. So we're very excited to be able to do that. In your local Broward office, we concentrate heavily on Broward, but we also will provide services and loan capital to those in Miami-Dade County as well as Palm Beach County. The Entrepreneurship Center's strategic goals are primarily to address the prosperity gaps through small business and economic development, develop and cultivate collaborative alliances and other local, statewide, and national entrepreneurship resource organizations, identify a cadre of local professional subject matter experts in the various aspects of small business development to provide technical assistance. Again, you'll hear a little bit more about that later. Next slide. And we've done this through a 3M model: money, markets, and management, because that's what we believe it's all about. Just like I shared with you in 2015 when we had the big idea, our president and CEO, Dr. Jermaine Smith-Boss, said, I want to be able to respond to the multiple needs, not just one area that businesses need assistance with. And so this 3M model was birthed. So when we talk about money, access to capital is key for entrepreneurs to start or grow businesses. And the small business loan funds, we partner with government entities like Broward County, private investors, and other nonprofits to connect small minority businesses and women-owned businesses with financing that generates economic opportunities and stability. What we know is that this can be done in many ways, right? We have capital access funding and relationships or partnerships with SBA. I know the county recently hosted a training around the new opportunities for dollars in the restaurant industry. Banks and IDAs, we've partnered with the county on the individual development accounts program since 2006, and there are still opportunities to work to secure match funding for your business. Pitch competitions, venture capital, and bootstrapping are all some of the ways that we create access to money in the Entrepreneurship Center. When we think about markets, we think about how we partner small businesses with major corporations as a path to accelerated growth. And we identify matching programs and partnership opportunities that could help facilitate an expansion into new markets to add to their distribution capabilities. Services include industry research, planning, forecasting, digital technology, procurement, sales projections, etc. But I'll also say in the access to markets, and Sandy will know that this is true. I see that he's jumped on, and good morning, Sandy. That we've worked really hard over the last 18 months as a part of the partnership with the South Florida Anchor Alliance, where we're working with entities or anchor institutions like Broward County and Broward College and BSO and Broward County Public Schools to figure out how do we create greater access to procurement opportunities. You heard in the screens just before mine that the county is working really hard to engage small businesses and the small business community around their procurement opportunities and how you become certified. We're working in partnership with many of those anchors to do just that, because we believe procurement creates an opportunity to increase your income and increase your wealth opportunities. And then lastly, management. The Entrepreneurship Center provides support to loan recipients in the form of business coaching and technical assistance, but you don't even have to be a loan recipient to have access to some of these management services. The center features entrepreneurship education and mentoring programs and the ability to empower our businesses to create jobs, which is really what this is all about. And the focus areas include technical assistance, coaching, business planning, legal and tax and accounting services, capability statements, job retention, and I can go a long way, but I won't do that because our team member, J.R. McFarland, will do that. So if you go to the next slide, it gives me a pleasure to introduce to you a little bit about what JR will be responding to. So JR will talk a little bit about our conditions and what we know, because we know in Florida, folks are struggling financially with the necessities, housing, food, healthcare, transportation, that the poverty levels in the minority community are disproportionately higher than non-minorities. And you know a lot of this already. This is not new data, but it's really to frame what JR will shortly talk to you about. The growth of low-skilled jobs is unfortunately in our state outpacing that of middle-skilled jobs. The county is working hard to change that, especially with efforts like the construction program that you heard about earlier. And the percentage of minority-owned businesses in Florida is significantly lower than the national average. And lastly, minority business ownership has been disenfranchised to the point that folks are struggling. And you know that this is only exacerbated when conditions such as the pandemic are upon us. And so the need for all of these technical services, as well as business development services, is now more critical than ever. And so J.R. McFarland from our team will talk to you a little bit more about that. So up next is J.R. McFarland. Next slide.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. And welcome all to the session. As you stated, my name is J.R. McFarland. I'm the Business Development Officer over here at the Urban League, and I'm not a one-man band. I do have two individuals that support in my efforts and our efforts at the Urban League as well. One being Ms. Dahlia Goldsmith. She is the Small Business Development Coordinator, as well as Dr. LaSalle Sweetland, and he manages our UBiz CoLab and the group of 5 counselors that support our efforts there. And we'll talk more about that. It's a tremendous opportunity to present to you folks today, and the opportunity that is before us is immense. We at the Urban League have supported through our entrepreneurship services over 2,000 entrepreneurs with small business financial education. And that we hope that at the conclusion of this presentation, that number will grow because we'll include a number of you in our program. Next slide, please. What we're seeing today is an anomaly, obviously framed around the pandemic. The last 12 months is unforgettable for many of us, and for many of you out there, you may have struggled during that situation, and you may know of many individuals who unfortunately their business did not survive during the tough last 12 to 14 months or so that we had during the pandemic. But through the Urban League, I like to say that you've got a win-win scenario, and the stars are certainly aligned with the vast capabilities that we offer to you guys. As the economy recovers, what we're seeing and what we're experiencing here at the Urban League is an increased number of clients seeking guidance and assistance with the formation of their business or whether in growing their business. And by assisting those individuals through technical assistance services, Courtney outlined some of those, that through business planning, accounting, legal resources, et cetera, that we are creating a wave of individuals and entrepreneurs who will be sustainable and will be successful in their growth practices through their business. Through 2 formats, we've got the individualized programs that we offer to individuals by way of technical assistance. And this really is to respond to individuals' needs. It is customized to maximize the impact that it will have on your business, as well as the needs that you may have. And then through our group training and education programs, that is designed to really enhance the business financial knowledge of you, as well as strengthening the capabilities to help start you along your way in terms of your business and its growth. Next slide, please. Our clients are fairly vast, and they are, as Courtney had mentioned, primarily of the minority small business owner community. It's based really around women and minority business owners, those who are self-employed, those individuals who may be in low to moderate income areas earning 80% median income. In fact, that stat right there is what feeds and fuels a lot of the minority business owners, because of the wage disparity, you have a tremendous amount of entrepreneurs who are starting their business because they need to beef up their income. They need to bridge the gap between what they're taking home in their regular job versus what they can earn if they start their own business and really put their skills to use. And that's what we're here for, to help them out. And then also with businesses, you'll have with 25 or fewer employees, those are typically our clients that you'll see come through the door that we'll support. It's not the end, but that is the core of who we support and who we work with. Next slide, please. At the Urban League and the Entrepreneurial Center, we meet you at your need, okay? So whether you are in the infancy stage and thinking of a business, or maybe you wanting to start a new business, or you may be 3-5 years in it and profitable and looking to grow your business, we will meet you at that need and support you. So hypothetically here, let's say you are a brand new individual looking to start up your business, we've got an incubator program perfectly suited for you. It's called our launch package. And through that, we'll help you clarify your mission, as well as define your business proposition and your business plan. So it'll be well formatted for you. You'll have a clear vision in terms of the direction you want to go in, the resources you want to tap into, and how to proceed, including how to tackle the competition that you may face within your community. But let's say you're a business, you've been in a business 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, and things have gotten stagnant. Maybe you came through the pandemic and the coronavirus situation, and your businesses really came to a halt, and you need to refresh. You need to get the business going again. The solutions package will help you do that, because what we'll equip you with through our programs is a SWOT analysis. SWOT meaning strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And we'll walk you through that to help identify areas that you can strengthen your business with. To strengthen your business model and to overcome any challenges is paramount. Any business that's succeeded or has an aspiration to succeed, you need to go through that format. You need to go through that process. I call it a 360 or self-assessment of your business and your goals and your targets to help you to launch and to help you to get your business to the next stage. And if you're in the innovative bucket, then you're that individual who've been in business at least 2 years. You've gotten profits. You're showing profits every single year. Things are going good for you. You're feeling pretty good, but you're not satisfied. And you're looking to expand into another realm, whether it be international marketing capabilities. Perhaps you want to pursue or looking to pursuing government contracts and expand that way. Maybe you're looking to leverage networks to boost your product line, or maybe it's just simply coming up with a new product line to really open up things for you. We've got that for you. We'll help you with the new product development, the expansions. We'll also even help you with mergers and acquisitions. So it's pretty vast. We have these columns here, or the three-legged stool, as I like to call it, that can support your initiatives and is very focused and tactical. Next slide, please. Additionally, through the developmental services, and Courtney touched on some of these earlier, we will offer a wide range of developmental support, technical assistance programs and offerings for you. It's very robust. This list here is some of the offerings that we offer that are most widely used, but it doesn't end there. And as you can see, whether you're looking to access roundtable events where you can leverage some of your counterparts in the community, or whether you're interested in group workshops where you can sit with peers like peers and share in successes and learn how to run your business in a more efficient manner. We have that for you. We've got matchmaking and networking events. And Pam will touch on some of the loan opportunities that we offer as well, and as well as the counseling that's available through that. So we do offer a wide range and robust platform of services for you that we can assist you on your endeavor with regards to growing your business. Next slide, please. I mentioned iron sharpens iron, and many of you have heard this statement before. It's a true statement in the fact that if you're a business owner in the technology space, it behooves you to be around other individuals, like-minded individuals such as yourself, because their challenges are going to be your challenges, and you're going to share in those challenges. And from that, you're going to learn and pick up best practices. Someone is having greater success in a situation that maybe perhaps you're struggling with, and it's just a simple purchase that you need to make to get that turned around. And we house and host these networking opportunities. Clearly, during the pandemic, we've not hosted anything in our facilities, but we're looking forward to getting that ramped up again. And these networking events are clear opportunities for you to sharpen your skills among individuals such as yourselves. So you definitely can look out for more information on that. These forums, essentially, they're opportunities that we create that will connect you with those like-minded individuals. And the sole purpose is to help you grow your business. We're all about helping you grow your business. Next slide, please. The Business Bootcamp series, we're pretty excited about this. In fact, we do have a series that will be starting in the next, sometime next week. Unfortunately, I believe the count has been maxed out. However, It's not the end. We'll have another series that comes around, but the boot camp series really is business fundamentals, and it's an integral part of your business and an integral part of how you go about your business. If you're in the launch phase, for example, we talked about that earlier within that three-legged stool. If you're in the launch phase, you want to pay attention to this. This is a perfect program for you to get in on, because you're going to get everything from soup to nuts in terms of how to structure, build your business plan, get your elevator pitch together, from the IT aspect of it, customer service, human resources. We touch everything in this workshop: business financials, leveraging technology, even preparing for the potential or possibilities of securing a loan to help get your business to the next level. All of that would be covered within our bootcamp series. We've got a tremendous counselor who teaches the session. It's a 6-week session, and through that session, you'll get all of those modules. It's very interactive. And again, I mentioned iron sharpens iron. This bootcamp series is going to get you the same setup as well, because you're going to be in a room with an individual, a subject matter expert that's going to touch on all those topics and get you to where you want to be, and right down to marketing strategies. So if you're in the launch phase, or you're looking to start up a business, or let's say perhaps you're in that second-legged stool and you are looking to refresh, or maybe there's something you did not get before when you started your business, this is a perfect opportunity for you to jump in and sharpen those skills here for us, for yourselves, with us. And we look forward to having you participating in our bootcamp series down the line. Thank you so much for that. And next slide, please. Our UBIZ Collab, I mentioned Dr. LaSalle Sweetland. This is a program that we offer through our Entrepreneurship Center for our more seasoned business owners. And in this session, through the UBIZ Collab, you're getting one-on-one consultation over a 6-month period, rotating on a 6-week basis. So you're going to touch on a number of venues, or opportunities, I should say, discussed with varying topics, from IT to accounting to marketing to legal to operations. You will have one-on-one consultation with a specific counselor on each of those segments throughout that 6-month window on a 6-week rotating basis. So one-on-one consultation, it is fee-based, fee-driven, I should say. It's $100, I believe, to get into the program. I'm fairly certain it's $100. But if you think about all those services that you're going to get in there, and the $100 that you pay for that session, it's well worth it. I mean, legal fee alone, you pick up the phone and you call an attorney, you're paying $250 just for that 1 hour. You're getting $100, you pay $100 and you're getting all these services out over a 6-month window on a rotating basis, customized for you, individualized. The program basically is entailed to help you hone your business, really build a structure. And we've had a tremendous amount of success in successful business owners that's come through our program, our UBIZ program. We typically have 25 to 30 to 35 individual business owners participating in this cohort session at any one particular segment. And we're on our 2nd cohort program right now. We're looking to roll out our 3rd cohort program sometime in July. So more to follow on that. If there's an interest there, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get you plugged into our program and work with you. And if I could just summarize with the Entrepreneurship Center, our #1 goal is to watch you succeed, to help you succeed, to provide all the resources you need to be successful in running your business. We're not looking to, we're not interested, and we don't take any benefit in watching individual business owners, whether small or medium, minority business owners, struggle. We have a plethora of resources for you, including the loan side, and Pam will talk about that in a second, to help you grow your business and to help you be successful to the point where, you know, we'd love to say that we helped you buy that extra vehicle because you needed it, or because you got a new location, because you outgrew the space you're in. We want to help you have those problems. Those are great problems to have, and the Entrepreneurship Center is here to support you. And look forward to hearing from and speaking with you guys down the road. I'd love to, at this time, introduce my colleague, Pam Stewart, and she will talk about our loan capabilities through the Entrepreneurship Center. Thank you so much.
Thank you, JR. I'm still seeing JR on my screen, but I'm assuming that everyone can hear me. I am really happy to be here today to speak with you all about the loan program. It's a very exciting time for the Small Business Loan Fund with the Entrepreneurship Center. And I'm just, falling all over myself because of the direction that we're going in such a short time. Let me just tell you a little bit about me. My role at the Entrepreneurship Center is to oversee the operations of our lending program. And as Courtney mentioned earlier, yes, we are a CDFI, which is a very, I guess it's a very important distinction in that it helps us to build our capacity to be even more impactful in the communities that we serve. In addition to that, we are actually, in the short period of time that we've been operating the fund, we've actually deployed almost $5 million in capital to small businesses. And we also have the capacity to work with the businesses to kind of triage where they are and help them to receive the best financing for the position that the business is in. So we have two people on our staff. My colleague, Brenda Desir, is the loan coordinator, and she's actually the first point of contact and the person that keeps me straight. So I'd like to now just tell you a little bit more about the program, and we'll take a look at the next slide. Why we exist. We are what you would characterize as a community bank. And by that, it's a community bank for small businesses. We exist to provide access to capital. I'm not really sure if any of you have personal experiences with trying to access a small business loan, but from personal experience, I can tell you that when you're going into a traditional lender, there are a lot of obstacles that are there. But what we do is we work with those lenders to invest in our organization so that we can make sure that they're having an impact in the communities that they may not be able to get through their underwriting guidelines. So access to capital so that we can level the playing field, create jobs in the communities, expand businesses, create businesses, revitalize communities, and make sure that we're sharing in the economic prosperity. We also get very much involved with business expansion, and the end goal is to create generational wealth so that you can continue to be prosperous, and your family and the next generation can come behind you and do the same thing. We're all about just improving the economic condition of the communities that we serve. Next slide, please. Now, what makes us different from a bank? Because I've already mentioned to you that we are a community bank and a community lender. And what makes us different is the fact that we have more flexible credit requirements. So some banks, if you don't have a credit score of 670 or 675, that bank won't even consider your application. Or, if you are in a situation where maybe you don't have real estate that you own to pledge as collateral against a loan, a lot of banks won't do that because they want to make sure that they have the best deals, if you will. Where our underwriting guidelines are a little bit more flexible. And one of the main things that makes us flexible is that we pay more attention to the character of the business owner. That's really important to us because we want to be able, as a part of the underwriting process, to know that you are 1000% dedicated to the success of your business. We also use your credit report and other tools just to see how you address your debt and whether or not, as a risk, that you're someone that we can do a loan with. We've worked very closely with our borrowers to provide technical assistance. With some lenders, you click the link, you put your information in and you hit submit and you've applied for the loan. Well, our process is a little bit different in that we actually will work with you through the application process to make sure that, the information you've submitted is correct. The information that you've submitted is actually going to be the most favorable for you. And we provide technical assistance. So if I'm in a situation where I'm working with someone and they've submitted a business plan or financial projections that show that they're not going to be able to, that don't actually make sense, if you will, because unfortunately that does happen. Everyone's not well versed on how to do financial projections. So my goal and my role at that point is actually to work with you to develop assumptions for the numbers that you're putting into your projections, and also to help you through that process. And and the great thing about it is that, by going through that process, something like that, it'll tell you whether or not as a business owner you even really need a loan. So that is something that we do. We also work with the development services side of the house by making referrals back to them. If you don't have a business plan and you need help with your business plan, then we will we'll cross refer to the other side of the house to say, hey, this guy looks good, or this woman looks good. We want to do this loan, but they need to shore up their business plan. So we will make those type of referrals to you to get technical assistance. The other thing that makes us different is that we understand the conditions in the local economy. We are boots on the ground, so to speak, and we're right there. We're local, and if we're not local, our affiliates are local, and so we have an understanding about what is actually going on in the communities that we serve. Some lenders actually will have, an underwriting division 10 or 11 states away that's making a decision on a loan that's right here in our backyard. So because of that, and because of the fact that, we're going to do our best to try to understand your business and the impact, we're going to be out there with you just trying to figure out whether or not the loan makes sense. Next slide. So some of the features of our loans, we've said that they're flexible and all the things that we do to work with you, but some of the features are as follows. First of all, the business must be in the state of Florida right now. We like to be national. That's where we're going. I'm going to speak it into existence. But we cover the state of Florida, but our specific emphasis for the CDFI is actually Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties. That doesn't mean that we can't do a loan in other areas, because we do have those in our portfolio. It just means that in terms of what we're targeting right now for the loan program, it's specific to Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade. Generally speaking, our loans range from $10,000 to $250,000. And, depending on what program, and I'll talk about the different products, what product we have, there may be limits on that, but generally speaking, the loans will range in that amount. Also, the loan terms are flexible and generally range from 3 to 7 years. The loan terms, what we do is we look at what it is you're using the funds for, and that helps us to set a term on the loan. And to give you an idea about that, if you're doing something and you just need some working capital, then that's a loan that's going to be closer to 3 years. If you have a need to, open up a restaurant and you're going to be purchasing equipment and doing a lot of build out and those things, we're going to actually spread that loan out over 7 years to make it more affordable, but also that the equipment and the renovations and the business itself is generally going to be around for at least 7 years. So that's the reason why we do that. Our interest rates vary. It really just depends on the product. It also depends on the market rates for the funding that we're receiving, as well as the funding, what's going on in our market. It also has a lot to do with the risk that's associated with the loan and the loan term. I will tell you that once we do set an interest rate for your loan, it won't adjust during the term of the loan. It's going to be fixed. And, it's a rate, it's a loan that you will not be penalized for early payments. We don't have any type of prepayment penalty clause or anything like that. We just want to make sure that we're able to get the capital to you at a reasonable rate and make sure that you're able to, afford it. And that's part of the loan application process. Collateral, that is something that a lot of businesses are afraid of when it comes to lending. But in most instances, when you get a loan from the Urban League or the CCCDC, it's going to be, the collateral is generally going to be limited to a blanket lien on the assets of the business. However, depending on, just how difficult, or not difficult, I shouldn't say that, but depending on how the loan is underwritten, if it's something that we perceive to be a higher credit risk, then we may ask for things, collateral in the form of, using a personal residence, vehicles, equipment that you may have, that sort of thing. We may do that, but that is the exception and not the rule. The other thing is that with our loans, if you are approved, are going to be responsible for all the loan closing expenses, including an application fee. Our fee to apply is $100. We do charge origination fees on our loans, and they're generally 3% of the loan. There are also fees, legal fees that you'll incur, very, very low, I might say. I've been working in a CDFI environment now for close to 15 years, and it's actually the lowest that I've ever seen. We also do things like UCC filings and court costs. But the great thing about it is that when we close on your loan, you won't have to bring money to the table. We're able to deduct these fees from your actual loan. And that way it puts less of a burden on you in terms of being able to close. And so we are able to do that as well. The next slide, please. So this is our small business loan fund. It's actually where we do, okay, well, I see a typo, so I'm not happy, but we do loans in this program from $15,000 to $250,000. The fund covers nearly every legal business expense you can think of. Working capital, as I mentioned earlier, to assist you with the general operating expenses of the business. We cover machinery, equipment, furniture, fixtures, leasehold improvements, nearly everything that you would need for a business. So there's really only certain things that we won't fund. And those things will include things like we've made the decision as an organization not to fund businesses with a sexual nature. So basically speaking, we don't cover things like strip clubs and those sorts of things. But if you are a business, the typical business that we work with, and you're running a restaurant, a barber shop, you're in the construction related trades, you're just a professional services or someone that's working as a sole proprietor, then those are the businesses that we want to do loans with. The maturity on these loans are flexible, generally range from 3 to 5 years, but we can go up to 7. The interest rate on our small business loan, which is where the typo was, is what I wanted to correct. That interest rate is actually 9% on that loan. And the application fee is $100 and the origination fee is 3%. So just make note that is the higher interest rate fund that we operate. And that's probably where most of the businesses will fall into. Next slide. We recently received an investment from one of our funders, and we created the Diverse Capital Drean Fund. Very exciting fund for us. And the reason why it's so exciting is that it gives us the ability to make loans up to $150,000. It also allows us to do funding for any typical business use. And also, what I've highlighted in red, that we can actually refinance predatory small business loans. That is so important because, just seeing some of the loan applications that have come through, the businesses will get themselves in a situation where they're paying, up to 40% interest on a small business loan. they're, and especially through the online services. This is something where they can get a loan really quickly, a couple days, but the interest rate is terrible. So what we are able to do with this fund is take a look at, your debt and actually see what we can do to try to reduce that and make it something that's more affordable. The loan terms on this one range from 3 to 5 years, but we can go up to 7 depending on the circumstances. The interest rate is 3% on this fund. It is amazingly set at 3%. And this is where some of the better credit risks are able to take advantage of this. We do have an application fee of $100 and we have an origination fee of 3%. So that's standard as well. Next. Exciting stuff here, guys. We actually are involved with a loan program for the Broward Municipal Services District. This is an exciting new loan program that actually launched at the end of January. And what it does is it targets businesses that are in certain areas throughout Broward County. Now, let me just tell you about some of the features of this loan program because it's an opportunity that you don't want to miss. It provides microloans, startup loans, as well as capital access loans. And the loan values, depending on the type of loan that you get, go from $3,000 up to $150,000. It is amazing that we're able to do startup loans. This is something that doesn't happen that often, but we are able to assist startups with this program. So the program is available to businesses that are in the Broward Municipal Services District or businesses that want to relocate the Broward Municipal Services District. You can use the proceeds for any legitimate business purpose, which is some of the things that we talked about on the prior slide. What makes this program unique is that you're able to actually amortize it between 5 and 10 years, making your payment extraordinarily low. The other part about it that's really great is that on the microloans, as you see, there's a 1-year deferment of payment. So you get this loan, you got an extraordinarily low interest rate of 3%, and you don't have to make any payments for the first year of the loan, and it's spread out over 5 years. There is no application for this application fee. The origination fee is 1%. And the only requirement is that you have to be a for-profit business located in the Broward Municipal Services District for 6 consecutive months. On the startup loans, you see that it's spread between 5 and 10 years with a 6-month deferment of your first payment at a 3.5% interest. The origination fee is a little bit higher on this one because there's a lot more work that goes into the underwriting for a startup loan than with some of the other loans that are listed here. The only requirement is you have to be for profit. All these programs are for profit in business for 0 to 18 months. That's incredible. So you literally can put together a business plan and apply for funding. We underwrite it very differently. However, we're prepared to assist you to get through that process. And we have a couple businesses that have already applied as a startup business in that area. The last part of this is the capital access loan program. And as you see, those loans go up to $150,000. It has a maturity between 5 and 10 years. It's a 6-month deferment at 3.5%. There's no application fee. And the origination fee is 3%. And they're looking for businesses that have been in business for a minimum of 18 months. Now, you asked me, well, what's the Broward Municipal Services District? The next slide actually shows you where those districts are throughout Broward County. So if we can go to the next slide, these are the areas that are eligible for this exciting programming. If you're coming to me, we have a link that you can use to see whether or not your location is within the district. We also have we'll assist you in maps and things like that just to make sure. I actually have someone that's been working since January to find a location. And she called me yesterday and say, hey, I just found this great location. So it is available to someone that's willing to do the legwork to get into the district. If you come to us and you're not in this district, we will triage your application to make sure that we can then funnel it to other programs that you might be eligible for. So if you're not in that district, don't be discouraged. We can still assist you. The next slide, please. This is a slide I recently started talking about because it is also a program that's available to start up small businesses. And we actually work with the county, Broward County, on this program as well. It's called the Individual Development Account Program. And what it does is it's a match savings program that will assist you with starting your small business. So using that example, if you are interested and you're able to write the business plan, we have templates, we have our development team that can assist you, and I actually do reviews on them as well. And we also assist you with the financial projections that you're going to have to complete for it. But the thing is that if you've done all the things that are required of the program, and let's say, for instance, you save $1,000, you will get a grant for $4,000 to match that so that you can go out there and establish your business. This fund is also used for other things, including home ownership and education. And you see the ratios there in terms of how we will meet you with that. So if you're interested in that program, send me a quick email and I will be happy to, start you down the road to get involved with that program. The great thing about the way that our Entrepreneurship Center works is that you can literally come in, we'll assist you with the planning, we'll send you perhaps to the IDA program. And as you open your business, you may come back to me for a loan, or you may, want to get involved in UBIZ Collab, and we're able to assist you with scaling your business and taking it to the next level. So we're here to, as JR so nicely put it, meet you where you are. And what we do is we do what we call our business assessment. We see where you are, and then we actually work in directing you to the services that can appropriately help you to build and grow and sustain your business. Next, please. So how do you get in touch with us? In the chat, I've been seeing some of the information there, and I see that our information is actually being put in the chat, but I wanted to tell you the quickest way to get to us. If you go to the Central County Community Development Corp's website, what you will see is this particular page here. This is the screen from our website, and if you click that Contact Us button right there, you're going to see small business development, which is for the technical assistance services that we offer and the training that we do. You're also going to see a link for the Small Business Loan Fund. Now, if you click these links, what happens is that you'll fill out a short questionnaire saying, your basic information, name, address, business name, and we want to know the nature of your inquiry. Why are you contacting us? That will generate an email directly to our development team or to the loan team, and we'll be able to respond to you immediately. So that's the best way to get in touch with us, is to go to that website, cccdcorp.org, and hit the contact button to reach our team. Now, the beauty is, as we go to the next slide, is that when you fill out the inquiry form, you're actually populating your information into our database. This is, I heard earlier that the county now has a secure system to deal with certifications. Well, the Urban League does too, and that's through our client portal using a platform called Outcome Tracker. It's a client-centered user interface. So what that means is, as you're typing your information into that inquiry, we're actually populating our database with your information so that then we can start adding you to our distribution list. If we have information on the type of business that you're operating in, and we get an opportunity for your type of business, we're going to reach out to you and see if you're interested, and also keep you in the loop. So you get to be on our mailing list. The great thing about it is that using this self-service feature, we're able to immediately collect information and provide you the best range of services. So how do you get started? After you complete that inquiry, you're going to get contacted by the loan team or the development team, and you're going to be invited to what we call our client portal, our secure client portal. And it's featured on the next slide. This is what the portal looks like. You go in there, it's going to give you instructions on what you need in order to receive any type of service. So you go into the contact us, put your information in there. We'll be notified, contact you, and actually send you the link to go directly to our portal. Now, in here, you see there's a business assessment and a client intake form. Those are forms that we have to receive from you that gives us basic information about your business. And it's very easy. You create your own unique ID, username and password, and then you're able to actually input that information. As soon as you're done with that, we set up an appointment for us to begin discussions and to develop an idea of the best type of service for what you need. Now, the next slide is if we contacted you and we decide, okay, you're ready to apply for a loan, we also have an online loan portal where you can actually complete the loan application and actually provide us the documents relating to the loan. This is really wonderful because it populates immediately into our outcome tracker, and I'm able to see the information as you're posting it, and we're able to communicate through this portal. So that is what our online portal looks like. And it's very user-friendly, and as you're completing the information, it's very streamlined. I can see it immediately, and it gives me the ability to provide you the best level of service. So we have one for just general development services that JR outlined. And if you're going to apply for a loan from us, we have the online portal. Any information you put in on the client portal automatically will populate in any of the forms that we need on the loan portal. Next slide. Well, that concludes the presentation.
So good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And Ms. Wade, thank you. Mr. McFarling, thank you. And to my friend Courtney, thank you. Not that Mr. McFarling and Ms. Wade aren't my friends, but again, any and everything about the Urban League is my friend and a friend of Broward County. Any and everything about the Central County Community Development is my friend and the friend of Broward County. So again, you got community partners, you have community partners, then you have community partners. And Urban League of Broward County is a community partner of Broward County government, and specifically our Office of Economic and Small Business Development. So thank them for sharing today. Again, we want you to continue putting your questions in the Q&A. We're now going to get ready to entertain those questions. But in summary, from my perspective, and I do apologize for not being on for the first 5 or 6 minutes, but Courtney, I did catch some of you, but I certainly caught all of Mr. McFarling and I caught Ms. Wade. But in short, we've had a steady number of 70 plus, minus the facilitators. I mean, I got 64 plus who are listening today. Please understand the things that the county does, we acknowledge we can't do it all. And there's multiple partners that the county works with. This happens to be one of those who have been with the county for years, a quality partner. So when it comes to technical assistance, when it comes to entrepreneurship assistance, when it comes to access to loans, when it comes to even some housing assistance and just general information, if I'm a minority or a woman or a startup business, the Urban League and all of their divisions happens to be one of those partners where you, even as an existing certified small business, and you're sometimes looking for additional assistance as you're doing contracts with us. Sometimes you just want some additional technical assistance in scaling up your business, even though we have an entrepreneurship program. There's just as much to be offered by many of our community partners. But today we're trying to make sure you recognize there's more to the Urban League than what you may have known or what you may have known nationally urban leagues to be about. So we want to make sure that we can bring them in to share this information and to make sure that you would have a chance to hear from them as well as to engage them. And certainly, as you continue your strategic development, your potential scaling up, or even your consideration of starting a business or looking for access to capital, they are one of the organizations you should start with. And as you heard them mention, they're actually doing projects and initiatives with us, specifically targeting populations in the BMSD. Back in the day, before we changed the BMSD, it really just meant unincorporated. Got 31 cities in Broward, 1,300 square miles, 74,000 businesses in Broward, over 1.9 million residents in Broward, but we still had areas in Broward County that weren't incorporated. They're not a city. They were called unincorporated. We recently stopped calling them unincorporated and we gave them the name Broward Municipal Service District. So the Urban League is working with us to service the Broward Municipal Service District. The Urban League actually has a home established in the Broward Municipal Service District. So when I'm targeting businesses in the Broward Municipal Service District, who better to understand the background of the district, the type of businesses in the district, the individuals in the district, who better to aid them and assist them than the Urban League? That's just one of the reasons why they're truly one of our partners. So with that, Ms. McCall or who's ever working it, let's start dealing with some questions. And let's make sure that Courtney and Ms. Wade and Mr. McFarland can be here. And again, if any happens to be towards Broward, we'll certainly share that as well. But let's get to the Q&A.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. And while we prepare for the Q&A and I start asking questions, I'm going to have my staff to go ahead and put up the survey, because it's important for each of you that have joined us today to make sure you provide us with your feedback. As we put together programming to assist you, it is valuable for us to know if this information was beneficial, if this workshop was of use to you, and we want to make sure that we are continuing to provide programming in those veins. So if you can just take 2 minutes, it's 4 or 5 quick questions, and just provide us some feedback in real time so that we can understand the work that we're doing and how it is affecting and impacting you, we would greatly appreciate it. So the poll will remain up for just a few minutes, and I will go ahead and start asking those questions. So the first question, Mr. McDonald, will probably be to our office, to you. It's with regards to certification, county certification. Can small home businesses apply for certification?
Yes, small home businesses can apply to be a certified small business, SBE or CBE. The idea is to make sure, based on the industry of your business, your city allows home-based businesses. That's the key. Because if the city allows you to be a home-based business, you can certify with Broward County in our program.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next question is from Lisette, and she's asking, I can really use your help with writing a P3 proposal for development of an equestrian center on a 45-acre property owned by the city of Hollywood. Is this something that you all are able to assist with?
She asking me or she asking Courtney and the team?
She's probably asking Courtney and the team. Go ahead, Ms. Scardy, you can unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Excellent. So I'm glad you asked the question because it allows me to also address something else that I think is really important. We shared with you a menu of different service offerings for the Entrepreneurship Center, and all of that is true. But know that we partner with others as well. So we are not attorneys, we are not accountants, but we partner with legal aid and other vehicles or organizations that provide some of these direct services. The same is true in this area of procurement. Recently, we launched an initiative working with an organization as well as Small Business Development Center to be able to provide some of these contract services to help businesses prepare their package to respond to bids. So this is an alignment with that. Typically, we've done that in a group format where we do a series of classes, very similar to the boot camp experience that JR discussed. We recently just ended one. However, we would love to be able to work with you, take a look at your package and see with our network of partners if it's something that we can help you respond to. So it's never enough JR would often say it's never a no. Let's take a look at what you've got to see how we can offer you the greatest service.
Excellent. Thank you. And one of her follow-up questions to that is there a fee for your services? Do you charge any fees for your services?
Sorry, I should just stay unmuted instead of muting it back. So now I know. But most of our services are no charge, with the exception of the UBiz Collab. So the UBiz Collab is a membership engagement. And so as JR stated earlier, that cost has been about $100, and you get far more than the $100 membership fee that you're contributing. We always believe that skin in the game is good. But we're fortunate to be able to subsidize a lot of our services through funds that we receive from the Department of Economic Opportunities and other investments and grant programs. So today, we're not charging a fee for the majority of our services. So the relationship with respect to packaging your bid, there's no fee for that today. And I always say today because it's always a snapshot in time. Our desire is to, if we are charging services, that it would be lower cost. But we want you to treat it as if you paid $1 million for it, because I promise you the investment, time, talent, and treasure, not just of the people on our team, but those partners that we work with really is valuable. And so we just ask that you treat it like you're a paying customer, even though in most instances you won't have to.
Okay, excellent. With regards to your services, we have another question. Do you assist with PPP loans?
So I'm going to defer to Pam.
Yes, we do assist with PPP loans. We actually, as a part of our service model, work with multiple small business lenders as well as traditional banks. So we do provide some level of technical assistance. When it's outside the scope of what we can do, we do have consultants that can help us with working with PPP. And as you can imagine, on the loan side, PPP funding and any idle loans that were received or grants is something that we actually need to know when we're doing small business loans with you. So yes, we do. And just as an indication, we were able to work with one of our lending partners and do well over $1 million in PPP funding, some of the small businesses that we serve.
Thank you, Ms. Pam. A question regarding group workshops. Are your group workshops advertised on your website, or is there an email list that people need to join in order to be notified of your events?
JR, you want to respond? You're on mute.
Need to unmute.
Thank you. Yeah, I just sent a text saying, please unmute me. Yes, the information is posted. I think I did respond earlier in the chat as well. There are various ways and outlets that you'll be notified of events that we have coming up. And as far as participating in those events, if you're connected with us on any social media platform, you'll see our information there. But primarily, if you go to the CCCB Corp website, our upcoming activities and events are listed there as well. Plus, we will, as you populate your information into our database through the outcome trackers Pam highlighted, we will be able to reach out to you in a targeted and specific fashion with specific events that we have coming up that can assist you. Case in point, yesterday we had a wonderful workshop, lunch and learn session, and it was all about telling how to tell your story, the art of storytelling. A lot of business owners struggle with that 60-second elevator snap pitch, or how do you discuss what you do to entice someone to want to hear more, or even better, to support your endeavors, to support your business. And through that workshop, we were able to highlight some tricks and tips that would enable you to do that. Now, if we have your information, we can send that targeted information out to you. So please make sure you get your information into our portal so that we can reach out to you. We've got a plethora of services. Most of them are free, and it's all geared to you and to help you grow your business. It's a missed opportunity if you don't take advantage of the services that we're offering at the Urban League. It's a missed opportunity. I welcome you guys to come in the door and let us help you.
Can I also just add, JR made a good point, specifically related to the storytelling workshop that we did recently. Often when we're working with individuals who come into the center, it demonstrates for us what those needs are in communities. So the workshops and the networking events tend to be in response to that which we're seeing. Recently, we created a point of access for the individuals who are a part of our UBIZ collab to give them access to $10,000 grants. We recently awarded 4 $10,000 grants to businesses that were in the UBIZ collab. They had to write a one-page summary about their business and how they would use the capital, and they had to do a pitch video. Those that rose to the top were those who were able to do a concise summary of their business needs and how they'd utilize the funds, but also how well they demonstrated or represented their business in that pitch video. And after we went through about 21 applications, we saw that that was a high need for individuals, that was really a missed perhaps opportunity. We'll have those grant opportunities through a partner of ours come up more often than not. And so we want to make sure that our businesses are ready for that. So again, the events create an opportunity to just strengthen your skill sets. Over the years, we've done many co-events with the county as well. And so as the world starts opening and up again, my hope is that we can continue to do more of that. But it will generally always be in response to that which we see coming into the center.
Wonderful. There's a specific question regarding nonprofit services. What type of services are available to nonprofit businesses?
Pam, you want to take that one?
Well, we actually do provide some of our development services for nonprofits as well. We don't prevent you from being able to participate in our development services at all, because nonprofits are businesses too. We recognize that. On the loan side, however, it's a little bit more restrictive because the loan program is set up for for-profit businesses. They have a different model. And I've operated a nonprofit and a for-profit, so I can share with you that you know, the nonprofits exist primarily for the community benefit. So there's no revenue making motive for their type of operation. They want to benefit the community, and that's their measure. However, so we primarily just deal with for-profits, and our funders, they're dealing with for-profits too. So that's the restriction there. However, let me just say that we do occasionally come across programs for funding for nonprofits. One of our lending partners is going to be participating in a regional program in the southeast region of the USA, where they're going to be offering loans to for-profits. So I mentioned earlier that, to nonprofits as well as for-profits. So I mentioned earlier that we triage. If you come to us and you say, hey, Pam, this is the business, this is who I am, this is how I'm showing up, then, you know, I have an honest consultation with you to say where I think your best opportunity is to get funding for the business. That could be the IDA, it could be one of our loan programs, or it could be going to one of our lending partners that actually has a program that's more tailored for what it is that you need funding for. So unfortunately, most of the, the development side, yes, nonprofits. On the loan side, it's a little bit more restrictive, but like I said, we do what we can to assist.
Thank you. And Ms. Pam, I'm going to direct these two questions to you because I believe that they were probably asked during your segment. So with regards to funding, I know that you did cover some of the percentage rates on the loans, but if you could just reiterate what those interest rates are on the loans. And also there's the question if you have filed Chapter 13 previously, are there services or available for them?
Okay, on the loans, the interest rates, depending on the loan fund, is between 3% and 9%. And, part of what I do in terms of just doing the whole triage thing, keep using that. I might have to actually start promoting that we triage. But as I mentioned earlier, the lower risk loans, we can give you a lower interest rate, but at the higher risk loans, we actually have to put you into the higher interest rate of 9%. But let me just say this, I mentioned some of the predatory lenders that can do interest rates as high as 40 to 200%. You know, it's terrible. So you can get to the money that you need. We have made a decision as an organization to make the ceiling or the highest interest rate at 9%, no matter what the risk is that we're looking at. If you go to some of the other CDFIs and community-based lenders, for the type of client that we discuss and that has challenges generally, that interest rate can be anywhere between 13 and 17%. So, but we've made the decision that we want to make our rate affordable, and that we don't want to get into those double-digit interest rates at this time. That's the snapshot right now, as my boss just said earlier, but I'm committed to doing that. And, part of what I do in that whole triaging is advocate for the businesses to make sure that the loans that we do are affordable. Now, the second part of the question that you asked, can you repeat that for me?
Yes, they were asking about if they, I guess, filed previously with Chapter 13. Just as, what if you filed Chapter 13?
Okay. One of the things that I do when I'm looking at loans, and it's the same thing that our banking buddies do, because we get a lot of referrals from banks, is that there are just certain things that we all look at, and they're called the C's of credit. So one of those C's, of course, has to do with your credit worthiness. And so what we do is we actually take a look at your credit report, your credit history, and we actually, include that into the underwriting of the loan. If this is something that's been on your in your background and it's not current, and by current I mean that you haven't done that within the most recent 5 to 7 years, then I think we can get beyond that. We can work with that and make it something that we can get comfortable with. One of the things that we do, unlike a traditional lender, is we get explanations of derogatory credit. What happened? The fact that you have that on your credit is not going to prevent me from being able to approve a loan that's being submitted, but how you're dealing with it does. So if you had a situation and you had circumstances that caused you to be in that position, we all know that the market tanked and a few years back. We know that COVID has had an impact on a lot of businesses. Those are the type of things that we work in terms of being flexible to get comfortable with. And I advocate as much as I can to our loan committee for the loans that I'm working with. So if you have a reason for it, then it's something that we might be able to work with. So I would definitely say contact me. Let's talk about it.
If I can just add something real quick to that, is the thing that we don't want to miss here is through our tremendous loan team is your files are hand underwritten. You're not just pumped into the system and they wait to see what comes out on the other side. Each one of you is an individual, your situation's individualized, and we really take careful attention to look at your personal situation and do a full evaluation of that to make a determination. So don't lose the fact that it is hand underwritten, and because of that, things are not going to get lost. We're going to really pay close attention to everything, because at the end of the day, we know that you're in a need. That's why we're having the conversation, and we really want to help you. That's our ultimate goal, and if we can, we will.
I'll only add, because I agree wholeheartely with the points that were just made. And in this environment, and unfortunately, for many businesses, that are led by minority-owned businesses and perhaps even women-owned businesses, we are attractive to predatory lenders. And as Pam said, there are many out there with far higher interest rates than ours. But more than that is that the Urban League is about economic self-reliance, right? You can absolutely, for many, get a loan that's not going to worry about your credit. They might not even worry about you had a bankruptcy. You do an online application. You say you could pay back, they're going to give you that loan. But man, what it will take to keep that loan or keep that loan up and keep your business, they can't speak to that. What we're saying to you is that we're not going to put you in a position. It's our greatest hope to not put any business in a position where they're not going to be able to make their payment, where we've not fully evaluated the file. And so we don't just hand out loans. You can get some other loans quicker than you might be able to get ours, but our commitment to you is that we're gonna make sure that it's something that you can afford. And that's gonna allow you to grow your business, not lose your business. Because that has been, unfortunately, the scenario for some businesses in our community, or it's something they're really grappling with. And that's really one of the reasons why we added the ability for one of our loan products to be able to refinance predatory debt or predatory loans, because we've seen some of that come into the center.
Excellent. Very good. One quick question is regarding multilingual support. Do you have services in other languages that are available?
So I'll take this question. We have other language speakers at the Urban League, but we don't have a Spanish or Creole speaker on our team. But yes, the Urban League has folks that speak Spanish and Creole and have assisted our Entrepreneurship Center team and being able to assist individuals who do speak another language. But it's important for you to know that we don't have somebody who speaks it directly. We do have somebody who speaks conversational Spanish, but she will not go out there branding the fact that she speaks Spanish fluently. So having said that, if you have that need, we will figure out how to make an accommodation to offer support.
Excellent. And I can relate to that. So our next question is from, I think it's Shedley, asking, I have several students who have businesses and want to start a business. Is there an age minimum to access your services?
So I'll start, and then maybe Pam, you'll pick up. So it's a bit of a tricky question, right? Because it depends on the service that you're looking for. I would typically say, we're looking at 18 and older. And at times there may be ventures that we'll do to promote youth entrepreneurship, or events that we may have over time, or in partnership with others, we may be able to connect youth who are interested in entrepreneurship. But I will say, even through vehicles like the Individual Development Accounts Program, they can go actually as low as 16. A parent could potentially be the owner of the account and share the services and resources with their younger student. So there are some ways to get at it. Youth are not our typical client in the Entrepreneurship Center. So, Pam, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, for the loans in particular, you have to be 18 years of age or older to actually receive a loan. And that's for a lot of reasons, but because we're out in the community and we're working with all the other partners, if something comes across and we see that there's an opportunity for funding for, youth, we're happy to share that information and pass it on to you if you've let us know that. The other thing is that JR and I, we get out in the community and we talk to groups all the time about the services of the Entrepreneurship Center. If you have a group of young people that you want us to come out and talk to about entrepreneurship, we're ready to do it. We're here. We'd love to be able to do it. Also, we are working with a lot of businesses that are now offering to be mentors. I did see a comment in the chat that someone wants to volunteer. We may get opportunities where one of our businesses is looking to hire, 18 people in a fast food environment. Well, I'm sorry, casual fast dining environment. And so, they're looking for people that can come in and work that. So we do have other things that we can do to touch on this group. Happy to talk to them. Happy to share some of my trials and tribulations as a small business owner. And also, from a lending standpoint, some of the things that they might want to consider in terms of just keeping their credit, in a good place, and how that it will impact lending decisions.
Very good. Mr. McDonald, this question may be for you. A business owner is trying to determine what district she's in. So I'm assuming probably in reference to the BMSD segment that we were discussing. I'm putting in the chat for her, this is Marcella, with regards to the link. But if a business is trying to determine what district they're in, where can they go to get that information?
Well, you can certainly go to the county's website, and then we do have a map of all of our districts, our 9 commission districts. But similar to what Courtney and the team said, and we have the same, we do have a link where you can put your address in and it'll show you if you're in our BMSD. But the easiest way, even if you don't go to the county site, you can look at Wikipedia. And even on Wikipedia, it's going to give you the county's 9 district with your address. You can see exactly which district you're actually in. Or we'll put my emails in the chat. Send us an email and I'll plug your address in. Doesn't make a difference.
And we're happy to
And
help with that as well.
Wonderful. And the link that was in the presentation, again, this presentation is being recorded and will be available for you on our YouTube channel. But and the link is also included in that presentation. And we're putting it in the chat as well. Also, Mr. McDonald, Siobhan is asking, and with regards to, can the Business Development Office, I'm assuming she's referring to our office, assist with gaining contracts for businesses that are women and minority business owned?
Yes, Broward County is a race and gender neutral program. That don't mean we exclude women and minorities. Our history, real briefly, 1992 to 2006, Broward was MBE and MWBE, Minority Business or Minority Women Business Enterprise. At that time in 06, I was in DC, no, I was in Michigan. Across the country, those minority programs got challenged. Many didn't have the justification of the documentation via, legally, a diversity study to maintain those programs. Broward happened to be one of the favorable programs that, though they didn't have the data, they immediately, and I mean less than 60 days, created a race and gender neutral program. And as I remind all of the businesses in Broward, they didn't go out and find foreign people or brand new people. Broward took the MBE, MWBE program, and they just put it in a new database with the same names and called it CBE and SBE. Now, because the program was becoming geographical versus minority or women, it just means Miami go do your own, Palm Beach go do your own, which they all did, and we all ended up with our own local program. So minorities and women who was a part of this program in 92 or 2006 should have stayed. Don't go nowhere. So right now, that's our program. So if you're a minority or woman, you still want to be a part of our program. Wink, wink. If you're a minority or a woman, you also want to consider the fact that we administer the federal program, which is the DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and the ACDBE, Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and that's exclusively for minority and women-owned businesses. So a minority and a woman-owned business in Broward can be a part of my local SBE, CBE, and if they choose, be a part of the federal program DBE or ACDBE when the funding comes from the Department of Transportation. So yes, we're race and gender neutral, but we target minority, women, and others to assure that they can have the opportunities to develop and grow their business right here in Broward County.
And Mr. McDonald, there's this question that I'm going to give to you. Want you guys to use your magic ball. Wondering, basically, any idea when we will go back to in-person or networking events, when they're going to start taking place? One of their main challenges is acquiring clients, and they really need to get back to in-person events. So we've got that question, and then we are kind of right at the precipice of time, but I do have 2 other technical questions that I want to direct to Urban League.
Okay, so real briefly, if you get a chance, pay attention to May 4th. That's the Broward County Board of Commissioners meeting. The last 2 commission meetings, we have started talking about reassembling folks to come to a commission chamber. So wink, wink. If we're getting ready to start letting people come back to a commission chamber, that means somebody's getting ready to be okay with rooms of 10, 50, and 60s for meet and greets and other events. So we're certainly going to announce as an office after Tuesday's commission meeting exactly what the instructions are from Broward County, and even our shop will probably start those activities later this summer, certainly by the fall. And Ms. McCall and her team is certainly looking forward to this time next year. We're getting ready to roll into May. Urban League's one of our partners. That business week, bringing our Broward and Beyond Business Conference back May 2022. But you can probably hear from the commission meeting on Tuesday that even Broward County, following the science, is going to start relaxing and having folks reassemble.
Wonderful. Yes, we are all definitely looking forward to that and excited to get back to some in-person events when it is certainly safe for everyone. So I want to make sure that I address two questions. Mr. Willie Brown has been putting his question in every location he possibly can. So he wants to make sure he gets an answer to understanding whether or not you offer technical support for website development as a new business owner or as a startup.
The quick answer is yes. The quick answer is absolutely yes. We can definitely help.
Wonderful. So Mr. Brown, reach out to them and get more information about those services. And then also with regards to technology, are there loan programs in place to help businesses that are technology based with only intangible assets?
All of our loan programs are can be used for that purpose. And we recognize that in the technology field that may be one of the challenges, but because we look at more than just collateral in order to do our loans, we can actually get comfortable with a technology-based business as long as they are strong in some of the other areas that we look at. So we talked about character and we talked about the collateral. Some of the other things that we look at is the business's cash flow. If you are showing that you have the ability to repay the debt, that's definitely a deal that we want to take a look at. Also, I'm looking at the conditions in the market. If you see that, there's a new, based on what you're implementing and the changes that you're making technology-wise, that it's going to greatly expand your revenue streams, that's something that we can definitely talk about and get comfortable with. So the quick answer is yes, yes, yes. Give me a call. Let's talk.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so some of the other questions are kind of just reiterating the information that has already been presented. So I want to reiterate to all of you that are still with us that we will make sure in our follow-up communications that we provide a copy of this presentation to you so that you can go back and review the information that you wanted to be reiterated regarding some of the underwriting criteria, the interest rate, some of those different things. It's all in the presentation. So we'll make sure you get a copy of that in our follow-up communications. And again, this presentation is being recorded and will be on our YouTube channel for you to go back and review at your leisure. You can fast forward to the parts that are of interest of you and so forth. So with that, that is all the questions that we have that need to be answered live. Mr. McDonald, I will turn over to you for closing remarks.
Thank you much, Ms. McCall. And again, thank you, Urban League. Thank you, Courtney, for working with us.
Pleasure.
To not just being our partner today, but knowing that I've been here 8 years. And one of the first persons I met when I got here was Miss Jermaine Ball, was Dr. Jermaine Ball, and she has embraced me since day one. We are looking to do more with our Urban League. And again, our Urban League serves more than just our BMSD. They truly service Broward County. You ask some people, they service outside of Broward County. I'm the selfish type. They service Broward County. And they're just a partner that I need, a partner that we need. So again, Mr. McFarling and Pam, thank you for the information shared. I really do hope that our listeners today take advantage of the resources. Man, it is honestly for naught if our businesses, our entrepreneurs, our aspiring entrepreneurs and others don't take advantages of the resources in our front yards. And I get to say this openly. We have our meetings, we have our sessions, we have our commission meetings, and we have our groups of 2, 3, 5, 600. Those 40, 50, 60 intimate sessions, I really do look for those 5 or 10 people that's serious. See, I don't need the 30 and the 40. I need the 5 to 10 that are serious to walk through, to follow through, to allow us to build you, because you're our best story. You're the Urban League's best story. You heard them talking about telling the story. They want the 3 to 4, the 5 of you to go through the good days, the bad days, into the successful days, because you become our best message. So even now, you heard me when I first started talking, I had roughly about 70. Even with this 46, minus us presenters, 39. Take advantage of the Urban League and their services, their genuine, true partnership, and our office, and let's see how we can help you. No false promises. If we can assist you, we will. So again, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Stay safe,
Thank you.
everyone. And at the end of the day, we will eventually be seeing you more face to face. Thanks again.